Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Yo, what up, though, people? Like to welcome you back to the Keep It Casino podcast. As always, I am your boy Brown. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. This your first time tuning in, please hit the sub button. Everybody tuned in, hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell so you can get notified when we drop new content. Please don't be afraid to leave a comment if you agree with something, disagree with something, you want to add on to something, or if you want to just correct me. Drop them comments, keep it a C note. Make sure you hit the share button as well so we can all debate what's going on and what I'm talking about. Funniest thing I've seen so far this week, shout out Cam Newton. He threw over 30 passes at Auburn's Pro Day. Afterwards, he said it ain't 32 quarterbacks better than him. Do you agree with Cam Newton? Yes? No? Keep it a C note. For some viewers, this may be your first time tuning in, but I've been saying for about 2 years, 3 years, if you know me longer than that, Cam Newton is done. Cam Newton, he may be right when he says ain't 32 quarterbacks better than him, but here's the thing. It ain't 32 starting quality quarterbacks in the league. So even though he may be right, he's still not a starting quarterback in the league. 7-15 since 2019. Last time he played with Carolina, no wins. Looked horrible. 12 touchdowns, 16 interceptions since 2019. I mean, a blind man can see Cam Newton is not starting material anymore. He was more of an athletic, run-you-over type of guy. He never was a crazy guy that throwing the football. And now that he can't do all them other things, him not being able to throw the football has really hurt his career. I'm just keeping it a C note. Speaking of quarterbacks that I say can't throw the football, Lamar Jackson still has no deal. I keep hearing the word collusion. All the owners don't want to give Lamar a fully guaranteed contract because that's not what they do. So they're colluding. They don't want to, nobody's going to offer him a contract. Oh, Lamar is representing himself. If he gets this contract, more players are going to start cutting the agents out. And we're cool with the agents, so we're not going to give Lamar a contract. Is collusion a thing with Lamar Jackson? Is that a reason why he hasn't received a contract? Keep it a C note. I'm a 100% disagree. Again, the NFL don't give out fully guaranteed contracts. We know that. But all the agent stuff is BS. If Patrick Mahomes represented himself, he wouldn't be on a franchise tag. He would have had a deal. He wouldn't have got the fully guaranteed money probably, but he would have a deal. And if it was a chance he got franchised because Baltimore was being cheap, somebody would have signed him to another deal if he represented himself, and that was the case. Lamar just ain't a great quarterback. I mean, we get caught up in the hype. We see the highlights and all that. He's won the MVP. He's done great things in the regular season. But what has he done in the playoffs? What has he done since the MVP season? I'm just keeping it a C note. But, I mean, shout out to Vito. And we got a couple viewers as well. They hate when I use the word gimmick. When I say the Wildcat was a gimmick or Deebo Samuels is not a receiver, he's like a gimmick. Like, they hate when I use that word. So I'm going to try to change the word up. I'm going to say smokescreen. Was Lamar Jackson's MVP season a smokescreen? Yes, no, maybe so. Keep it a C note. Listen, a lot of people don't realize Lamar Jackson's first year in the league, he went 6-1, running an offense. He came in at the end of the year for Flacco and whoever else they had in front of him, but he finished the season 6-1. The next year was the MVP year, right? And that year, Baltimore, that offseason, they tweaked the whole offense so he can be the starter and be successful in it. Now, like with the Wildcat and other gimmicks that have run in the NFL, once defenses get a grasp on it, get enough tape on it, his MVP year, he only had 7 games on tape. And then that season wasn't the same offense. Since 2019, right? 2019, he threw for over 3,000 yards. Only time in his career. He hasn't done that since. 36 touchdowns that year. He hasn't done that since. Last 2 seasons, he keep getting hurt, right? Was it a smokescreen? Is the tape out on Lamar now? That's all I'm asking you. I mean, even with RG3, and I know they got hurt, Carson, it's a bunch of guys that have been effective doing something, right? And then once then, it's a new wrinkle, but once the NFL catch on to it, then it's null and void, right? I think it was a smokescreen. The MVP season, they didn't have enough tape on Lamar. And the tape they had, again, they could not use it because they switched their offense that next season. And now that the NFL, these defensive coordinators, they have enough tape on Lamar. They know what he likes to do, what he doesn't like to do. That's why the passing yards ain't there no more. He's a runner by nature, so the rushing yards is going to be there. The durability ain't there no more neither. I mean, he's not played the whole season the last 2 years. So I don't know. I just want y'all to look at it. Keep it a C note. Was Lamar Jackson's MVP season a smokescreen? Yes, no. Let me know. Now, I've seen a lot of lists going around, floating around. They've been talking top 5 NFC quarterbacks coming into the season. And I've seen everyone from NFL Network, Max Kellerman. I seen them doing it on Get Up. And I'm kind of baffled at these lists, right? Now, to me, if we're saying top 5 based off of last year, I can recognize some of these lists. Okay, I see that. But if we're just talking top 5 quarterbacks, I'm not just going to go off last year. Geno Smith had a great year last year. He overachieved. Nobody expected Seattle to make the playoffs. That was his best year in 9 seasons. So for saying somebody like Geno Smith after one good year is a top 5 quarterback is ridiculous. He's not a top 5 quarterback in the NFC. I don't care if Aaron Rodgers isn't there no more. He's not a top 5 quarterback. I'm just keeping it a C note. But he did have a great year. Shout out Geno Smith. Derek Carr. Derek Carr just won 6 games with Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs, right? Was on the stage at an interview crying and everything, right? And yet, certain analysts have him as a top 5 quarterback in the NFC. Knock it off, would you? Jalen Hurts. Hell of a year last year. MVP type season. If it wasn't for Patrick Mahomes, he probably would have won the MVP. Did a lot of amazing things. Eagles finished with the best record. If we're talking about top 5 quarterbacks based off last year, Jalen Hurts no doubt is number 1. But if we're just talking top 5 quarterbacks, period, Jalen Hurts does not jump to number 1 just because he had a great season. That's 1 year. Eagles fans especially, even the analysts that are Eagles fans, they do this all the time. We just went through this with Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz had one good year. He didn't even play that year in the Super Bowl that they won, and they deemed him the best thing ever. I received a lot of criticism because I was saying back then Jared Goff was better than Carson Wentz. I received all type of criticism. I even had Eagles fans that told me Carson Wentz was better than Donovan McNabb. But this is what Eagles fans do. They get caught in a moment. And it wasn't just the fans. Because the analysts, they were selling Carson Wentz too. In no way am I saying Jalen Hurts is going to be Carson Wentz. Jalen Hurts is better than Carson Wentz. But he's only did that 1 year. To put him at number 1 overall in the NFC, you can't do it. Again, if we're basing it just off of last year, who's the top 5 quarterbacks that end the season in the NFC? You can do that, but going in, no, come on, man. Y'all got to relax. Y'all got to relax. I'm keeping it a C note. Geno is not a top 5 quarterback in the NFC. Derek Carr is not a top 5 quarterback in the NFC. And Jalen Hurts ain't the best quarterback in the NFC. The top 5 quarterbacks in the NFC, I got at 5, I got Kirk Cousins. 4, I got Dak Prescott. 3, I got Jalen Hurts. 2, I got Jared Goff. And 1, I got Matthew Stafford. Those guys have done it longevity, more than 1 year. More than 1 year. Jared Goff, I received a lot of criticism on this show. Because I said Jared Goff going into last season was better than Dak Prescott. As long as Jared Goff has an offensive line, some type of protection, he's a top quarterback. You got to look at it. He's a top quarterback. He's played in the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford is the only quarterback in the NFC that has won a Super Bowl. So for you to put him because of one bad season, Megatron, all-time yards in a season, Stafford was throwing in that ball. Pause. Cooper Kupp is number 2 on that list. Stafford was throwing that to him. If you don't think Matthew Stafford is good, my prime example would be Kenny Galladay. Stafford got that man paid. And that man ain't did nothing since he played with Stafford. Pause. He just got cut. He had 4th and 5th string receivers getting time over him. He couldn't get on the field. Matthew Stafford once had that man at 1,000 yards. And y'all disrespect Matthew Stafford. You got to knock it off, would you? Jalen Hurts is great. He had a great season. Has potential to be the best quarterback in the NFC. But he's not the best quarterback in the NFC right now. I'm just keeping it a C note. Mario Chalmers, he stirred up a lot of debate. He made a lot of people angry. Basically, this is what he said.
Nobody fears Braun. Nobody's like, damn, I gotta go play this Braun tonight. Nobody said that. I don't know why.
Right.
Because I've seen people be scared when they actually line up to him, but they're not scared thinking about that matchup.
Right.
You hear anybody from that era talk about going against Jordan, there's a fear.
Right.
So when you have people that fear a player, then that's telling you something different already. Like, Jordan's just that guy, like, everything was, I want to be like Mike.
Right.
Now, I just want to know, do y'all agree? Do y'all disagree? Keep it a C note. Let me know. Shout out Mario Chalmers for speaking his mind. I know people hating on him. He's a nut. He only won his only chip with his chips with LeBron, and it be, I've heard all type of talk, but keeping it a C note is keeping it a C note. People feared MJ. People feared MJ. And I don't like how guys like JJ Redick and Gilbert Arenas are trying to spin the narrative. But you have people on tape saying, I didn't want to speak to Michael Jordan because I didn't want to rub him the wrong way. Pause. You had players saying, don't talk to Jordan because he'll come out and give you 60. That's fear. You've never seen that with LeBron. You've never seen nobody come out and say they was terrified to play against LeBron. They was terrified to say the wrong thing to LeBron. They did that with Mike. And that's why they did it, because Mike could give you 60 on any night. That's fear. It ain't like, no, he gonna hurt me, but that's fear. It's only a couple guys since I've been watching the NBA that had that impact. Jordan, Kobe Bean is another person I can think of. Like, these guys were terrified of them guys. And it's documented. So when everybody is saying Mario Chalmers crazy, Mario Chalmers is hating, no, he's not. Just go back and all the greats from back then. Even Charles Barkley will tell you, don't talk crazy to Mike. Anybody that was a great back then will tell you, look, leave Mike alone. Don't even look at him. That's fear. I don't know what you would call it. Oh, they was just scared because back then it was easier for him to embarrass you. Yes, that's fear. AI put fear in you. You don't want to be on a poster. You don't want to get your ankles broke. So you not gonna try to defend AI. That's fear. I don't know what y'all be talking about, man. I'm telling you, I've been looking into it. I've been reaching out to Oouuber. I'm waiting for him to get back to me. I'm trying to see if they do Jets. JJ Redick, Gilbert Arenas, people like that. I'm going to send them a jet wherever they at. Uber jet, because these guys are delirious. Paul George recently hurt his right leg in a game. Clippers fighting. The West is tight right now. Pause. Can the Clippers make the playoffs and make a run without Paul George? Yes, no. Keep it a C note. Not the way you playing Kawhi. You can't, no, I don't, not without Paul George. The Clippers are done without Paul George. They don't have no chance. Now you really got to push Kawhi to the limit. And that might force an injury. Like, it's too much fragileness going on. I went out on a limb. I thought the Clippers would make the championship this year to start the season. I'm like, what was I thinking? John Wall never stays healthy. John Wall's done. Kawhi missing games here, there, and everywhere. PG been a little bit more consistent, but without Paul George, their season may be over. Jaylen Brown, in a recent interview, he was asked if he wanted to stay in Boston long term. And the statement that he fully made will be on the screen, but me paraphrasing, he said, I don't know, as long as I'm needed. He wrapped it up by saying, I will stay where I'm needed and treated correctly. Keep it a C note. What's your thoughts on Jaylen Brown's comments? Let me know. I mean, we all know Jaylen Brown is still upset that Boston tried to trade him for KD. Behind his back, they didn't let him know or nothing. So you know he's upset about that. And I believe he has a right to be upset about that. I mean, we've got a core. We were just in the finals. We just added some pieces. And you're going to try to trade me? Like, that means my spot is still not solidified. No matter how much I've done on this team, my spot is not solidified. That's just my thoughts on it. Another thing that's mind-boggling, and I'm going to say this respectfully, KD is one of the greatest to ever play, and he was a unique player and all that. But I don't know why NBA teams continue to risk their future for Kevin Durant. He's older. He's injury prone. Since he left Golden State, he hasn't done anything. Doesn't make anyone better, but he will get his. I've said it on recent episodes. The Nets messed their young core up by trading all them guys for Kyrie and KD. Phoenix just gave up a lot of their young pieces for KD. Boston would have risked their core for KD. He's not worth it at this point in his career. KD had a freak accident and is out. You just traded all these young players, right? Now, Phoenix don't win the championship this year. KD's not 100% in the playoffs or don't play in the playoffs, whatever the case. You got to go another year with Chris Paul aging another year. This is another year you don't fully get to develop DeAndre Ayton because he's still 5th, 6th option wherever you put him at. KD ain't going. You don't know how many games KD is gonna play. I'm just saying. I know KD is a name, and I know he's a great individual scorer. I just don't see why franchises are risking their future for our older Kevin Durant that can't stay healthy. To me, I'm gonna make a statement, and I want y'all to tell me: is it no cap? Call me a Oouuber. Kevin Durant's worst decision was leaving Golden State. For everything he's done since he left Golden State, he was better off signing back with the Warriors. He's hopping from this team to this team, trying to play with this star, that. He was better off playing with the Warriors. They all missed that next season. You still get Jordan Poole and those guys. Still got a chance to win a ring. I think Kevin Durant, to this point in his career, his two mistakes in his career was going to Golden State and leaving Golden State. Going to Golden State messed up where he is on the all-time list. And leaving Golden State is just making him look crazy because he's just all over the place. Teams need to stop jeopardizing your core for Kevin Durant. It's over. I'm just keeping it a C note. They're talking about MJ is reportedly looking to sell his majority stake in the Charlotte Hornets. What's your thoughts on it? Keep it a C note. I mean, it may be time for Michael Jordan to move on, and do some other things. But I want to ask y'all this, right? Why does Michael Jordan get blamed for all of the Charlotte Hornets' bad draft picks? He's the owner. He's not the general manager. What makes you think that Michael Jordan is handpicking these players? Is that just something to sabotage his name where I don't hear none of the other owners being mentioned? You didn't mention the Sixers owners when you drafted Markelle Fultz at number 1. Or Zaire Smith, right? You don't hear none of the other owners nobody mentioned Cleveland Cavaliers owner when they drafted Anthony Bennett. Why is it with MJ that he is like he's picking the team? Oh, since the year he became majority owner, they drafted Adam Morrison. And it seems like every draft when they get it wrong, it falls on Michael Jordan as the owner. But no other owners get that type of scrutiny. So is it something that I'm trying to figure out what's the movie, what's the angle on that? Do y'all know? Keep it a C note. Let me know. School me. Drop a comment. Why does MJ get blamed as the owner for all the bad picks that the Charlotte Hornets have made in the NBA draft? Let me know. Let me know. Before I wrap it up, shout out to social media, especially Twitter. Twitter's been going crazy lately. And it was a lot of Bradley Beal talk. Some people are saying that Bradley Beal has run the movie on Washington Wizards by making it look like he's loyal by staying around, but he's just trying to collect the bag. I mean, this past off season, Bradley Beal just signed a 5-year deal, $251 million. I told Vito and John right then and there, Bradley Beal is not worth that type of money. Who is Bradley Beal made better? When has Washington been a force in the East? That man is getting over $40 million this year, and he averages 23 points a game. He got that contract when he averaged 23 points a game. You got to be out of your mind to pay one player over $40 million that's only averaging 23 points a game. Doesn't make anyone better. The team isn't winning. Like, it's got to be a movie. It's got to be. I don't understand it. You could have took all that money and went and got you some players. A basic team. I don't know what's going on. They make it look like being a GM or an owner is so difficult. It got to be some type of inside movie going on with it, because I don't see how they make half of the moves that they make. Just realistically, I'm keeping it a casino. Even if you can't get big name free agents to come to Washington, get you a good team. Good players. You can put a team together with good players with all that money. Everything doesn't have to be about a star. I think that's what's ruining the NBA right now. Everything is about the star. If I can get a star, somebody with a name, I'm going to drop everything. The stars ain't getting it done. The best teams are. I'm just keeping it a C-note. But I'm about to wrap this episode up. Definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in. Again, if this is your first time tuning in, please hit the sub button. Everybody, make sure y'all hit the like button. Hit the bell so you can get notified when we drop new content. Make sure you leave a comment. Let me know, do I need an Uber for some of the stuff I'm saying? Keep it a C-note. You see my shirt. If I need an Uber, let me know so I can have somebody call me an Uber. Make sure you share this video with a friend. Let everybody get on the debate. You know, I'm willing to debate. We will start going live soon. Shout out Vito and John. They will be back soon. You know, but as always, I am your boy Brown. Please tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend to tell everybody, keep the C-note. I holla at y'all.
Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, da, da.